Hello, welcome to Pirate Readings. I'm Lady J, and if this sign is your sun, moon, or rising, this is your reading. And I really want to thank you all for your likes, shares, and subscribes. You all matter so much to me. Thank you. And if this particular reading resonates with you, I would love for you to consider subscribing to the channel. Without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to my beautiful turtle with a new name. Ta-da! This is Woody. All right, and yes, he won the vote, and that is super cool. I am looking so forward to keeping Woody on the table with a fabulous name. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get busy. So Libra, let's talk about October. We are going to be talking about the full overview this week. Right now we're talking about the full overview, which will have 5 columns because we're doing 5 weeks of October. And then it'll have 3 rows of cards because it's talking about where we are, what's blocking us, what our solution is for each week. And we'll do all of those, and then we'll go in depth on the very first week, which is going to be, of course, September 28th through October 4th at the end of the video. Okay? Yeah, so let's go ahead and light a candle just to get the good vibes going. All right, so I'm using this wonderful Sri Yantra candle, which is obviously a chakra candle. It has all of the colors of the chakras, which is so very, very cool. I like that very much. And yes, we're going to light the candle, get those good vibes going. Very nice. Set it down right here. Very cool. So, I have a confession. There was a little technical difficulty, and ultimately, I had laid out all the cards and I did the full reading, but I forgot to turn on my microphone. So, ultimately, I have all the cards laid out, and I have a guiding card for you already picked from this brilliant new deck, which is called the Embroidered Forest Tarot. All right, and it's a beautiful card, and that's why I didn't change anything or go backwards and reshuffle or anything, because the story makes sense to me, and I think it's a beautiful story that needs to be told again. So here I am, and I'm doing it all over just for you with a microphone. Ta-da! So you can hear me. All right. So the card we got from the Embroidered Forest Tarot is the Star card. This card is gorgeous. I will show it to you from here. Ta-da! So yeah, this is beautiful. See, all the cards are already out. Told you, I wasn't fibbing. So yes, the Star card is really all about how we are going with the flow a little bit, and we're definitely, all the hard work is over, and now we can start to go with the flow, which is super cool. All right, I want you to appreciate that because there's a lot happening for you this particular month, and I think that it will help you a lot to go with the flow a little. All right, so just remember that the hardest work is already over. You've already accomplished all the hard things, and that's good news. All right, the other thing to know is that my better angels have a wonderful story for all of us this particular month. One of the things that we need to know for October is that we need to find ways and means to make it make sense for ourselves when things that make us crazy are happening with the people we care about, the people that we know. It could be our neighbor, doing things that make us crazy, right? So people do it all the time, whether it's a coaster on the not being able to use a coaster in your living room, or it could be your neighbor walking their dog, and yeah, sure enough, they never pick up the poop when the dog goes by. What is up with that? Well, you can do the thing that I'm suggesting, where you come up with a story that helps you go into a place of compassion. And that would be like, oh man, he hurt his back so bad he can't bend over and touch his toes when he's standing. Right? It's a story. It has nothing to do with anything you need to tell anybody or explain to anybody, but it will put you in a place of compassion as you go and pick up the poop and go, all right, I'm doing the guy a solid. He can't touch his toes right now. I don't know if he'll ever be able to touch his toes, but for now he can't, and I'm going to do him a solid and take care of this poop for him. And then you move on, and it'll stop being a thing. And if you don't want to bend over, you can get a pooper scooper, and that would be fine. It would be something that you would do for yourself that you would no longer have to do more than you want to, all right? So do what you need to do to take care of yourself, but also put yourself in a happier place about that, because we don't want it to build up a resentment that makes you like shoot daggers at this person, literally or figuratively. Okay, so cool. The other message I have for you for this particular week is, or for this particular month, is all about how every project that we're doing this month of October, we need to keep it encapsulated into smaller pieces so that we can go start to finish, and the stuff in between, of course, but not like over many weeks, just 1 week and 1 week and 1 week, right? We don't want to have a lot of things that are not working, because we could get pulled away at any given time. And if we've done like 2 of the major of the 3 projects we might have going, like, okay, well, we've done 2, and the third one still untouched, but it isn't halfway done, it isn't a crater in the floor, it isn't dangerous, it's just not touched. And that way, if you do get pulled away unexpectedly, there won't be a big mess. And that's kind of the goal. It's not to have a big mess over weekends or other times when you want to be social, when you want to have people around and they might pop in unexpectedly, and you don't want to have a situation where it's a problem. Okay? Very cool. I like that for you. And yeah, so very good. Let's go ahead and look at the cards. As I said, I have laid them all out for you. I even have a mystery card for you that I pulled from the wonderful Mythic Tarot deck. We've used it before, and it's back in play, but just for the mystery card. So there it is. Cool. And now these are all laid out. We have the 5 columns representing the 5 weeks, and of course the 3 rows, where you are, what's blocking you, what your solution is. Nice. So good. All right, so let's go ahead and just get into it, and we'll go in depth on this week at the end of this reading. All right, so this is September 28th through October 4th. We have a karmic lesson for you. This is a Wheel of Fortune, showing that there is indeed a lesson that you've been learning or you've been through before that's coming up for you this week. Frustration. I know it's going to be frustrating, but just be aware that you're going to try something different than you've done before, and it's going to have a different result. So that'll be good. One of the things you're going to be blocked from doing is sharing your feelings or fighting for your feelings. So don't fight for your heart's desire in the mix. It's not going to make anything better, okay? So you're going to have to hold that back and just kind of go, okay, it's not about me right now. I'm just going to hold it back and see what happens, okay? And what's kind of interesting is you got the Star card again, which is like this card, boom, a double whammy. And it's really all about how the hard work is over. You don't have to do the hard work in this situation. You sit back and have a little martini while you wait and see what happens, okay? You've done all your own hard work already, so you don't have to do any more heavy lifting. You just sit back and wait, all right? And when you do that, it's actually going to change the karma in the situation as things unfold, okay? So let's move on to the next week over, which is the 5th through the 11th. And the 5th through the 11th, we have the 8 of Swords. You definitely want to be more in charge of a situation, so you're wanting to take the reins, right? You're like, okay, I want to take the reins. How do I do that? So you're going to talk to the boss. You say, hey, boss, check it out. This is what I want to do. And you're going to give him 95% your idea, but then you give him 5% of him on it. So then he smells himself on it. He sees that you care about what he cares about. And he's like, hey, I know. Why don't you do my idea for me, since you know a lot about it, because it's your idea. And of course, then he will say, yeah, no, sure, definitely go ahead and do that thing, because you've already shown him that you care about what he cares about, and he likes that. So he's going to let you be in charge of that situation, so you'll have taken your power back. Nice. Because of this new responsibility, you're not going to be able to do any of the letting go of things you were hoping to do. You were wanting to release things, and you're like, nope, can't get rid of thoughts, feelings, let's see, physical stuff, a way of thinking, a relationship, or even a job. Those things are stuck with you for now, okay? You are stuck with them for now. They are not going anywhere. Just keep that in mind and know what that means for you, okay? You're okay. You can do this. It's going to be exactly what it's supposed to be, all right? So just hang on to it for now. You can always get rid of it next month or next week, right? So this card here is talking about new information about something that you care about. So something that you care about will come up at this time that will add more information to your situation, and you'll be better prepared for what's coming down the pike, okay? I want you to understand the feelings and the information that will add dimension to your situation as you're moving forward this particular week, all right? And it will it'll help, all right? Now then, next week over, we're talking about the 12th through the 8th. You have a great big idea. Yeah, very cool. Love this. You're going to want to take this beautiful idea and write it down, Google it, create it, form it into a whole physical Yahoo thing, right? It doesn't have to be, I just want you to really mold the idea into what it's supposed to be, so that when anyone asks you a question about it, you're like, so how are we going to do the shipping on that? Okay, well, I've already talked about that, da 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 da. Or I've already done that research. Okay, how are we going to do the sales on that? Oh, well, da 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 da. Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. And how would we integrate that into our, oh no, we just sort of do this, la 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 la, and then it integrates it perfectly. So you're going to do all of the things so you have all of the questions answered when people are asking about your big idea. Because there's other things happening, like the Seven of Wands is where you're blocked. You're not going to be able to win people over one by one or even in a group, okay? So there's issues right now, certainly with you winning people over at this time. There is a little twist of possibility that you could win them over in a group, so consider the possibility of that concept. If you think they're open to it, great. If you don't think that they're open to it, just postpone doing that until next week or something like that. But you are jumping into something brand new. Something new will be starting for you, and you will be excited about it. It will be an opportunity. It might be you finally starting this project, which would be super cool. I love to see you getting involved more intensely. All right, so this is good. Very, very good. Well done. Next week over is the 19th through the 25th, King of Cups. This is an emotionally based male energy person. He speaks from his feelings. I feel like this. I feel like that. I feel like a taco. He could be very supportive in the situation, or he could be the naysayer. So keep an eye on him a little bit and see what he's all about. Where you're blocked, fairness. Whatever's going on this particular week, nothing is coming out fair for you, okay? Or maybe not even fair for you. Wait a minute. Fairness in general is off the table. So you might be winning or somebody else might be winning, but it will be bad for somebody, either you or somebody else, okay? So think that through and realize that it might be one of those situations where life just isn't fair, or it might be something else. So keep it in mind. It doesn't mean you have to do anything to change it one way or the other, but I want you to be aware that it isn't fair, and that you might be thinking, okay, so this is in favor of me, but not them, and will they know? They're going to find out, okay? So if it favors you, they'll find out. If it favors them, they already know that you know. And so obviously there's no secrets, so it's kind of a thing, okay? The King of Swords here is part of your solution, so he might be the guy who can come in and swing his little sword and make things all right for everybody. I don't know though, but he will be very particular about how he wants things done. He will be very difficult in his own special way, so pay attention unless you get down with that kind of particularity and you already know what his story is and he's like your broham. Well then, cool, you're good. But if not, if he's not on your side already, it could be extremely interesting and a little difficult, because he might want to come in and cut everything up so that everything is fair for everybody. At least if the person who gets, if you end up with more and the other person ends up with less, they could end up screaming and yelling and making him come around and go, all right, everybody gets a piece of everybody else's pie until everybody gets the same amount of pie, okay? So then he'll be making things fair, but in a nasty, icky, very Grimm's fairy tales, right? Those guys are kind of crazy. They like to do weird things, like cut things off. Yay! There's lots of cutting in Grimm's fairy tales. So pay attention to what that means, and if he's going to be that kind of person who equalizes with great intensity and yeah, right? Maybe it's better not to have it be fair. This card here is talking about the next week, which is October 26th through November 1st. We have the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is always about sharing your ideas, teaching people what they need to know so that they can move forward in a very nice way. So you're promoting what you've learned, what you know, what is in your wheelhouse already. You're going to be teaching other people what they need to know so that they are educated in the right direction. It's kind of like saying, hi, I'm really particular about how I like things done. Let me show you. what I like to do. And then you show them what to do, you leave them examples, and then you can have an expectation that they can fit that place. Or if they don't have the knowledge behind them, you say, okay, well, let me send you over to IT so they can teach you what you need to know on the computer so that you can do this particular program this way. Okay? So then you're going to be learning and teaching people what they need to know and sharing your information, and it's going to be kind of cool. All right? Now then, the Knight of Swords is also here, showing me that you're not going to be able to fight for your power in this situation. This is just you doing what you're doing, sharing your ideas. You don't have to be in charge of anything in this situation, and you're not going to be allowed to be in charge of anything in that situation. The Six of Pentacles is your solution. You have enough money to take care of yourself with a little extra to play with. If you're feeling like doing a little charity work, by all means, do your thing. If you don't feel like if you want to do something but not spend your money, you can always clean out your closet or your garage. And that is a nice way to open up the flow, all right? And opening up to the flow is a good thing, and I love that for you, all right? Very, very cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and save these cards off to one side, as we like to do. I'm saving them up here for the first time because I have space up here, but I don't have enough over here, and it just feels like it'll be under my elbow a lot. So that's why we're doing that. Now then, let's go ahead and go in deep on this very particular first week of October, which is September 28th through October 4th. I'm going to go ahead and lay these cards out, which this is the Tarot of the Abyss. We used it last month to go deeper. We're using it again because I think it's pretty cool and it has a lot of good juju into it. So let us look at what is happening here for you. So we talked about a karmic lesson. You're going to be going through something you've seen before. You've seen all this before. It's happened before. What is going on? Let's ask the other cards to help clarify. It's showing me the Queen of Wands. This is the Queen. This is a lady of like mind, a feminine energy person. It doesn't have to be a woman, but it's somebody who has feminine energy, who thinks like you do, understands things like you do, and it's going to be really, really kind of somebody you typically get along with pretty well. Very nice. We like that very much. So this is a good friend. We like that person, and that's good things. But we also have the Nine of Pentacles, showing that you are flush financially. And the story I'm getting is that she may not be flush. So you are dealing with a person who doesn't have the means to necessarily keep up with you. Does that make sense? So you're having to either bankroll your events and your interactions, or it's some other version of an awkward situation there. I'm sorry about that. But yes, be aware that you're in that situation where, yes, how awkward for you. I'm sorry. But you're feeling like, I want to hang out with my friend, but we always have to do things and I always have to pay. So there's some friction in that situation. Something is not great, okay? And it's a karmic lesson for you because you've actually been dealing with people like this before, and it's been a little awkward. Now then, fighting for your heart's desire at this time, fighting for them to meet you at their level is a problem. You're blocked from doing that, so you can't ask them to come on, pay up, right? You can't do that. That's not working out. So what else is blocked? It's not going to be fast. Whatever's going on, the Eight of Wands is blocked. So speeding things up, it's going to be a very slow process, whatever this is. So them coming to understand. Oh, and the Ten of Swords. You're not in charge. Okay, so the Ten of Swords is blocked as well. So you're not in charge of the situation. But maybe that's the answer, is maybe you and this person want to do something, and you're like trying to make a plan to do something, and you're like, I'm not in charge. It'll go slow. Oh, okay. What if in this case you ask them to plot and plan the next event? It's like, hey, why don't you plan our next adventure, so that they can maybe choose to do something creative that's within their wheelhouse, that's like also within their price range, you know? Maybe they'll be like, hey, I found a place where we can go camping on the beach and it'll be beautiful, right? And we can go and do what we need to do. This person could also be the person who says, guess what? I want to go to the beach and stay the night and like wake up on the beach and drink coffee and have a nice time. And so she starts, you put it all in her place, because your solution is to have the hard work be over. So I want you to know that you're not supposed to do the work in this situation. Put it on her. You plan it. You plan our next event. And it's like, okay, cool. She has two ways she can go. One, she plans a camping trip that she can afford. Or, number two, she plans like, oh, I got us a beautiful hotel. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's only cost like $3,000. And you get to say, that's not really in my budget. And that's all you have to say. You don't have to say, you're spending my money, you suck. You can say, hey, that's really not in my budget. And that will be clear enough. And the Five of Cups is showing that we need to remember from past relationships how this has gone down. You've done this many times in different situations with other people where other people didn't have what they needed to come along. So you've done the thing where you paid all the time. You've done the thing where you told them, no, screw off. I don't want to be friends with you ever. Bye. And maybe this is your opportunity to try something different where you say, hey, so what was the core issue here? What was the core idea that you wanted? Oh, you wanted to go to the beach and you wanted to have coffee in the sand first thing in the morning and watch the sunrise. Okay, so why don't we get a camping spot on the beach and go pull out some tents and cots and stuff like that and get out there. And then we'll build a fire and make coffee on the beach. And it'll be beautiful. And it'll be exactly what you were hoping for, but on a much smaller scale. Because the Six of Wands is here showing me that you can teach her what she needs to know. You can teach her how to live within her means and still afford her grand plan, right? There are lots of people living on less, doing extraordinary, fun, wonderful things. I want to go to a movie. I'm broke, but what am I going to do? You go walk into a drive-in theater, bring your own popcorn, and you are in like Flynn. Nobody cares. It's going to be great. You could even probably walk in and then, obviously not through the front gate. Holy cow. But you'll be able to do what you want to do. There's little ways to be a little mischievous and find good ways and happy ways to do what you want to do. But when you figure out the core of her wants and needs and dreams, you can just tell her you can't afford it. And then she certainly can't deny you that truth, because she certainly can't afford it. So she's obviously thinking that you're going to bankroll it, but you don't have to have that big conversation that says, well, I thought you were going to pay for everything. And I'm like, well, if she actually says that, that's a lot. That's an awful lot that's a mouthful, right? So you'll want to have that conversation where you're like, I just can't afford it right now, okay? And I'm not going to afford it later either. I think we should find another way. What is the core? And that's why we go back to the core issue of what you wanted. What do you really want to accomplish here? And then find a cheaper way that you are willing to be at, that helps her understand she can have a good time on less money. And that's good. And that she should learn to do that on the regular, because she ain't got no money. So cool. But you can maintain that friendship by helping her learn how to do that on less money. All right? And I think that's a smarter choice than abandoning her or dumping her off the bridge, right? Okay, so what card are we getting for you? We're going to use this beautiful Moon Oracle, and normally we'll slide them out and pull out a card, but I'm taking the one off the top because I did this before in the other video. I promise you I did this thing start to finish, no sound at all. Very annoying. But this card here is Radiant, and yes, you are radiant. You are the person who people come to because you bring light to the world. You are so brilliant and lovely and brilliant and lovely. Look at me repeating myself. The fact is, they're attracted to you, okay? The good ones and the bad ones. So you end up with people who come to you and want to be with you no matter what. They don't care what the cost is. So you'll find there are some people who bring you more energy or lift you up in some way, and you want to be around them. Great, cool. And then you'll find there are those who have nothing to bring to the table, but they always just need stuff, need your energy, need your time, need your everything. And they're suckers. They're like a moth to the flame. So be careful who you're attracting. Be careful what's happening, because you are radiant. Is this person, what's your karmic lesson with this person? Is this a person that you need to learn to create a happy solution with? Or is this a person that you've already done happy solutions and come out sad? You've done the buying it all and paying for it all and come out sad, and you've never just abandoned them or moved them on down the road. Of course, this is somebody of like mind. This is somebody that you call a friend. So this person matters to you in some way, but if you've never made a boundary with them like this, it might be an issue that you want to consider. So for you personally, how this hits you is going to make sense to you in its own way. All right, so just sort of take that as it resonates and realize that you can make some boundaries, or you can be creative with them and help them learn how to live within their bounds, right? Which would be very sweet, and I like that very much. Let's see what your mystery card is, huh? We have the Nine of Wands. And yes, you are standing up for who you are as a person. You are standing up as you are and who you are. If this person confronts you and says something to the effect of, but you've always paid before, why wouldn't you pay now? It's like, because I can't afford it. After a while, you spend all my money, babe. I can't afford your champagne taste. So obviously you're going to find better words and softer words and gentler words to say the same thing, because being abrupt isn't going to be very helpful in the situation. They're not going to be appreciative of that sort of tact, or in no tact, as I just put it out there so plainly. But be aware that they will be probably asking you to change in some way. And the answer is, I'm going to stay me. And I deserve to be me, and I deserve to be plentiful and happy and not spend all my money in one place. But like I said, if they want to go to the beach and have coffee, well, then by all means, we could either drive to the beach and grab a Starbucks. That's another option that's quite inexpensive. Or we could camp on the beach. Or, I mean, but if they're plotting and planning a hotel situation, I mean, hey, that's a lot. And it's not something they can afford. So be aware of that. And then when you're camping, you'll find ways and means to be more generous and open as you wish. You know, if you want to do something special, you can, when it's your choice, not something that's been decided for you, right? So cool. I like it very much for you. There's a lot of growth happening here. You have to work on some things, but let some of it, let her plan something and see what she comes up with. And then you have the conversations. Okay? Cool. All right, so let's get you a pocket full of rocks. All right. Cool. All right, very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay, so, haha. You have Amazonite, which is a 4th chakra stone. It is, or 5th chakra stone, sorry about that. And it's all about your throat. So it's about what's going on inside your throat and how you're going to be sharing very gently, because the 5 of Cups is here telling you, please don't blow up your life over this situation. There's no reason to, you can just remember the lessons from your past. You don't have to have it be a big damn deal, but use your words gently and carefully, remembering that you've been this person before. And so there's a lot to learn from how you share about what you've learned to this person and teach them what they need to know, so that you can do it in a gentler fashion, the way you would have wanted it done for you, if they're open to the conversation when you say, I can't afford your little party, dear. So cool. Black amethyst is here, and it's a 6th chakra stone. It's all about your 3rd eye, and when you meditate with this black amethyst on your 3rd eye, you get to see things like what kind of impact you have on the planet. So it's really about looking at the planet as like a basketball-shaped planet, right? Like, okay, look at this beautiful thing. It's about the size of okay, more like a handball size at this point, okay? So anyway, you're looking at the planet as it sits in your hand, and you're seeing the energy of you and what you've done on the planet, as it radiates around the planet, it'll show up as maybe a color or whatever your guides want to show you, so that you can see how your little drop of water, that is your impact in talking to somebody about, say, have you ever tried looking at flowers? They really make you feel happy. And you go, huh, that's wonderful. And then they tell two friends, and they tell friends, so it sends a ripple, right? And then they tell a bunch of friends, and everybody tells a bunch of friends, and then it goes off and becomes a wave. You're like, oh my goodness, it's a wave now. A wave of people staring at flowers, wonderful, and planting flowers. And then it turns into a tsunami. Everybody is going and doing it, and it's beautiful. It's kind of like going viral, right? So cool. You're creating this opportunity just by being yourself. This is your energy, and how it starts as a drop. And your intent was simple. You put a drop of water out there, boop, and then everything else that happened afterward. So the impact you're having will be very visible to you when you use this stone as a meditation stone on your third eye, okay? Very nice. Pyrite is one of my favorite stones. It's a beauty. It comes in a square, a cube, right? So very cool. What's also neat about this stone is that it's an all chakra stone. It's an auric stone. So it goes into your auric field, and it creates a barrier around your body that won't let negativity come past it. So if other people are feeling negative and nasty and raunchy and irritable, their misery can't get through your protective shield, all right? So they may be saying all that stuff, and you'll see their lips moving, but you won't feel what they're saying, okay? It will protect you from feeling what they're saying. So pyrite is an empath's best friend, okay? It will keep you from feeling everybody else's stuff, and that is exactly what it's all about, don't you know? All right, so I'm going to put these stones down right here, all right? And, of course, my goodness, Libra, what a week you're having. This is going to be a big week, and I really hope that you do well with the situation and work out that karma and figure out a better way to handle the situation so that you are in a better stead. Remember to try and let them do some stuff for themselves and see what they come back with before you start schooling them, okay? Because that way they've done something and they've shown you what their intent was without it being you telling them this is your MO and I'm not doing it anymore. Which is super direct when in fact all you're saying is, I can't afford it. I can't afford to have you as a friend if you're going to spend all my money. Which is kind of the gist of the story. But we don't need to say it quite like that. Get that Amazonite working, all right? But yeah, if you want to carry these rocks, they're here for you. That's awesome. Please put them in your pocket. They will help a lot. If you don't want to carry those rocks, that's okay. You can carry anything you like. If you want to comment about the reading or the rocks or anything else, do so. I would love to have a communication with you. It would be nice to interact with you. And of course, I love you all so much for your likes, shares, and subscribes. You really matter to me. I appreciate the one and the all of you. You are why I do what I do. I want you to see what's coming up for the week ahead, so you're better prepared. That's all. That's what I'm doing. And now this will help, I hope. And of course, if you haven't checked the description box below, there's a lot of really cool things there. There's a list of all the cards I'm using, so you can go on Amazon or Etsy and pick them up right there. Super fun. Nice to have them in your hands. The other thing you'll find is a full schedule of where I'll be in the country at a Renaissance fair, so you can come out and get an in-person reading. That would be fun. And of course, if you wanted to not be able, if you can't get out to the fair, I totally get that. You might want to have a private reading over the phone, and I can do that. There's a link down there for you to sign up for a private reading, and I will be there for you as much as I possibly can be. I appreciate the one and the all of you so very much. By all means, let's talk again next week about the 5th through the 11th. All right? Come back next week. We'll talk then. Thank you.